Hello humans, it's just Martine and welcome to the start of a weekly reading vlog. It is the Monday of a slightly chaotic week. Most weeks are at least slightly chaotic, but there you have it. So I guess it's just a normal Monday. And I decided that I wanted to bring you along with me on my reading week for a couple of reasons. One, this is the week of the month where I'm attempting the 3 hours a day reading challenge, where I try to read at least 3 hours a day every day. For every day of the week, for some reason. That's usually like a good basis for a vlog anyway. And then I also have this like kind of secret other goal, which is that I would really love to finish all of my currently reading books that I was still holding over from the month of March. Because in March, I did this really silly challenge where I started a book every day. And in my last vlog, I worked on getting that currently reading down to 5. But I would like that currently reading to be done with. I would like to be reading new books that I was not also reading in March. I do not think that this is going to happen because when I calculated it this weekend, this goal would require that I read about 300 pages a day. That's a lot, especially because some of these books are incredibly slow. So we're just doing what we can. I'm technically ahead on my pages right now because I started this weekend and tried to get as ahead as possible. So I'm like a little over 100 pages ahead of where I need to be. So I'll either be behind or right on target by the end of today. I'm keeping track of that in my little mini notebook. This notebook is just a brain dump notebook, but most of my brain dumps in here are about reading. Like when I'm constructing my TBR, remembering what I have to read things for. When I'm reading a ton of books at once, keeping track of which day I'm reading which book so I can see when I'm making progress on things and when I'm not. And then times like right now, where each circle represents 10 pages, and I'm trying to hit around 300 pages a day. So this is how I will be keeping track of that. I do not necessarily believe in myself, but I'm starting to challenge myself to just say my stretch goals out loud where people can hear them and watch me fail if I do. So this is me doing that. That is what I would really like to achieve with my reading this week, because I want those books to be done. A few of those books I cannot tell you about because one of them is for TBR crime. One of them is a 12 TBRs book. The other 3 I can tell you about. So that's cool. I'm hoping to finish a book today, Dungeon Crawler Carl. I know that one has been really popular lately. I am jumping on the hype train. I am reading it. I'm at like 80% right now, enjoying it, hoping to finish that by the end of the day. So hopefully I'll have a review for you about that at some point. But other than that, the currently reading is currently at 5 books. I have read for about 30 minutes today, so 2.5 hours left to go, and more pages than I can read in that time also. So happy Monday. Oh, also, while I've got you here, the limited time lemonade flavor at Chick-fil-A right now, this dragon fruit pineapple, I think it is, dragon fruit pineapple. Is anybody else obsessed with it? Because I am. It's just so good. So sipping on this while I work away. I have to do some work right now, but hopefully I will be reading soon because tonight I have to do something. Like I have an event tonight, so I'd like to give myself some reading time this afternoon to make up for it and to make up for the fact that for the rest of the week I will be grading like a maniac. So the papers are due tonight, so I can't grade them yet, so I might as well read for fun. I have also done other work today, but that's the plan. I'm going to do a little more work, then I'm going to read, then I'm going to have my event tonight, and we'll see where that takes us. Cheers. Happy Tuesday. I have some updates from yesterday. What order do I go in? Okay, I did manage to get my 3 hours of reading done by the skin of my teeth. I mean, I was trying really hard to keep my eyes open by the end there. In terms of pages, I read a little over 200 pages yesterday, but since I was ahead, that was okay. This is where I'm standing. I should be reading like 260 pages today to stay on track, which I'm not sure that's going to happen. And I did manage to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl, which I'm giving 4 stars. I definitely understand why people really like this book. I mean, obviously, I liked it too, but a lot of people have been giving it 5 stars. How to describe this book? In this book, we are following Carl, and his life is already kind of a mess, and then one day, his girlfriend, she's terrible, her cat jumps out the window, he goes to rescue it, and suddenly the world ends. And he is transported into this dungeon where he will have to fight for his life on television because there's this group in the universe. Anyway, they televise the apocalypse. And you wouldn't be able to tell from that premise, but it is a really silly, goofy book. The AI that like runs a lot of the things in the dungeon is weird. It's got a personality for sure. The cat joins Carl in the dungeon and is able to communicate with Carl and the world at large. She can talk now, and her name is Princess Donut, and she is ridiculous. And we're just watching these creatures fight these really weird monsters and also other people and animals to try and survive. It's the first in a series. The dungeon has like different levels and you go downwards. And so this book covers the first 2 levels of the dungeon. It was a silly, goofy time. So I enjoyed that. I'll definitely be continuing the series. It's on Kindle Unlimited in case you're interested. And shout out to Amanda. She was the first person I ever heard talk about this series. So that book's done. That means my currently reading is down to 4, I believe, which is just a huge win. And today I have been reading. I've gotten about an hour of reading done, which is not that many pages because I've mainly been focusing. I'm gonna sneeze. Never mind. Because I've been focusing on my slowest book, which is one of my TBR crime books. So there's that. This book, I don't think there's any reason I have to hide this book from you. I want to make progress in it today because yesterday I did not pick it up at all. It's the only book on my currently reading list that I did not touch yesterday, mainly because I wasn't around in my room to read physically. When I'm out and about, I bring my Kindle to read. While I am in tonight, this is a goal. It's so nice to be in on a Tuesday night. Usually I'm not. My obligation on Tuesdays is done for the semester, so hooray, I am here in pajamas, ready to chill, to do my habits, to get some reading done, please. So that's the goal. And I would make promises about keeping you updated along the way, but I have been not good at doing that. So no promises, but we'll talk. Eventually. Oh, in case anybody is wondering why I did not give Dungeon Crawler Carl 5 stars, a couple things. 1, the ending was kind of abrupt. 2, it took me a little while to get into it. And 3, it just didn't give me a 5-star feeling. That's my very scientific method of assigning 5 stars. Happy Wednesday. I know I'm just updating you at the end of the day, basically, but all I'm doing during the day is really boring stuff. Work is really busy right now because it's the last week of classes, and so I'm just grading a ton and writing, and that's it. I had a meeting with my major professor today to talk about goals for the next year, and that was good. But other than that, just grading and writing. And interestingly, on the topic of goals, because right, I have several goals this week, we were reframing how I view my academic goals because I don't react the best when I don't reach a goal, which is why I recently made a whole video about purposefully taking on a challenge I thought I would fail. And so we're working on reframing them. She was like, some people can have safe goals and that's fine. But in my view, your goals should be something that you can reach, but won't always, right? If you always meet your goals, then you're not giving yourself big enough goals. And I thought that was a really interesting way to think about goals and challenges and things like that. I think that was a good reminder for my academic life, but also a good reminder for right now, because there is no way I am going to be ahead or even on top of that 300-page goal that we talked about at the end of today. There's just no way. This is my little journal, right? And these are all the circles I would have to fill in today. And that's probably not going to happen. I'm still making good progress, and that's the point, right? These goals are to help me make progress. And so it's doing that. I am making progress. Yesterday, I did hit my 3 hours, and I didn't read 300 pages, but I read enough so that I had at least hit all the pages this week that I needed to so far. Today, I've so far read for an hour, and I've read like 50 pages. Not bad, but if I hit my 3 hours, that's still not enough to hit my 300 pages. For reference, yesterday I actually read for I think 3 hours and 44 minutes. And I read 289 pages. I will start to get behind on my page count, but that's fine, as long as I'm making progress. I am a little bit concerned, though, because I was entering Dungeon Crawler Carl into my spreadsheet this afternoon, and that's when I realized that I have not really started the books that are on my April TBR. That is a problem because it is April 16th. The month is half over, and I haven't started. I think I've started two of the books on my TBR And those are just because I started them last month. So yeah, part of me is like, I should start them now, but also they wouldn't count towards the 300 pages. So I don't know what to do. And goals can shift, and that's okay. So we'll see. By the end of the week, I might have started a new book or whatever before I finish all of these. And that might mean that I don't finish all of my currently reading, but I want to keep making progress in them. Yesterday, I did get a pretty significant chunk of this book done, All Her Little Secrets. So that's good. And I'm going to read some more right now. This is one of my faster reads at the moment. The primary ebook that I'm working on, I mean, the 3 other books I'm reading are ebooks, but the one I'm spending most of my reading time on is just incredibly slow. This is faster. The other 2 books are faster. I'm gonna get down to reading and make some progress, because that's the point, right? And at minimum, I would like to hit my 3 hours today and get in as many pages as I can. But tonight I have a call. It's usually a pretty long call with one of my friends. So we'll do what we can before then and then see how much we have left over after to finish before going to sleep. And you'll probably hear from me tomorrow about whether or not I accomplished that. So I will see you then. If you were going to look up days where like a lot is happening in the dictionary, today would appear. It has been quite a day. So many things have been happening. Let's recap yesterday. So I did hit my 3 hours for yesterday, but I am officially behind on my pages. That's fine. Knew it would happen. We're rolling with it. I think I'm like 30 pages behind, but I will definitely fall more behind tonight. Not as badly as I thought I would, because I was supposed to have a call at 4 p.m. that would last like a while, but that got canceled because of another big thing that happened today, which was just that some terrible things happened elsewhere, and a lot of people I love had a very scary day, but they're all okay. And so that was a lot. But then there were good parts of today too, right? Like I taught my last lab of the semester, and this is my first semester really instructing during my TA assignment instead of just grading. So this was like my first batch of real students. And so that was emo. What else? I've been grading a lot today, actually making really good progress grading today, so that's good. I think I'm like 2/3 of the way through grading this paper, so I can definitely finish that up tomorrow. Other big things, huge news. I finally got word today that I officially passed my qualifying exams, so I can apply to advance to candidacy. So I filled out the paperwork for that, and it just needs approval from the graduate school. Like a couple other people already approved it. So that's super exciting. That basically means that like the only thing I haven't completed for my requirements will be my dissertation. Hooray, I'll spend the next 2 years doing that. If the paperwork goes through on time, it actually means I'll start dissertation credits a semester earlier than expected. So that's sick. But yeah, that's huge news. And on the form, when it asked like what degrees I have, it was the first time I was able to write down Master of Science. So that's big. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it's a little confusing the way it works, but I'm pretty sure I technically earned my master's degree after I completed my thesis, and the qualifying exams just make me qualified to become a doctoral candidate, because I know that some people master out of my program, which is when they complete their thesis, but they don't do qualifying exams, so they just leave with their master's. It's a little unclear. Regardless, Master of Science, so that's exciting. And I have read for 45 minutes today, because those things are definitely related and also on the same level. I've read for 45 minutes. I would like to read more. I've also done basically none of my habits. I'm going to Zumba tonight. That'll be fun. It's probably the last Zumba of the semester, because there's another one next Tuesday, but I'm probably not going to go to that one for various reasons. But anyway, so Zumba tonight, which cuts down on my reading time, which has pros and cons. That's the plan. Get reading and see what progress we can make. Hey, howdy, hey. It's Saturday, and I don't feel like reading for some reason. I've hit my 3 hours on all the other days, and I managed to finish my last No, it's not my last TBR crime book. And I managed to finish that really long TBR crime book that I've been stuck on since mid-March, I think, is when I started it. So my currently reading is just at 2. Now, I do have to say, both of the books left on my currently reading are fantasy. So I think that might be contributing a little to the fact that I don't want to read very much. I also just think I'm feeling very active today. That's ironic because I'm on the ground right now, so I don't seem active, but that's because I ran some errands this morning, walked a lot, like hit 10,000 steps before noon anyway, so I don't really want to pace around because I am physically tired, but I am mentally jazzed, and that's making it hard to sit and read, or to want to sit and read. So I don't really know what to do about that. I've gotten an hour of reading in so far today, so I just need to do 2 more hours. It feels like a lot. So I don't know what's going on with me, but that's fine. It happens sometimes. I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting to tell you. I read exactly 300 pages yesterday. I say that because I finished that one book, and sometimes there's like back matter, but I track on Bookly by percentage of book. Kindle treats the percentage of the book as if you're going to read all the back matter. So I hit like 90% of it and then was finished. So I like earned a bunch of pages percentage wise that I didn't actually read. So it is what it is. That doesn't happen too often. But so I got to 300 pages, but I was 100 pages behind. So I was still 100 pages behind. That being said, I don't really feel the need to track my pages anymore because as long as I read for 3 hours both today and tomorrow, I should theoretically be able to finish both of those books. I would really like to start something else. I am tired of reading these same books. I want to start a book in April. I want that to be my life. What day is it? Like the 17th or more? We're in the back half of April. I haven't started a book in April. So I would like to do that, maybe. First, I have to convince myself to read these 2 books. That's fine. I'm fine. Reading's fun. Oh, now would be a good time for me to do my 5 minutes of nothing, because usually when I'm sitting there, all I can think about is how I want to read. So maybe I'll try that. Okay, wish me luck! Happy Easter. I have big news. My currently reading is now 0. I finished my last 2 books this morning because I had like 20 minutes in one of them and 45 minutes in another. And I kind of planned on finishing them last night, but then I got the urge, as one does, to rewatch The Last 5 Years movie version, and that took the rest of my night and all of my feelings. If you don't know, The Last 5 Years is a musical, and it's one of my favorite musicals. It's so good. If you don't know it, you have to believe me. It's so good. So I felt a lot of things last night, and then this morning I finished my last 2 books. Hooray! And one of them I can talk to you about. It's The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. That's the second book. I forget what the overall series is called. Nyack? I don't know. I don't know the name. The first one is The Serpent and the Wings of Night, which I read for my friend's favorites video for Ashley's pick, and I gave book 1 4.5 stars. So I started book 2. I almost said I gave it 2 stars. That is not correct. I gave it 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. Not as much as the first one because I talked a little in my friend's favorite vlog about this idea, but like often in fantasy or sci-fi series, book 1 has a specific setting that then gets changed later in the series, but that setting is of interest to me. So like in the first book of this series, I described it as like Hunger Games with vampires, and the Kajari, that's like the Hunger Games type thing is done in book 2, and we moved on to other things. But I really liked that aspect of book 1. So, like this one a little less, but it was still very good. It was longer though, over 600 pages, I think. And I just enjoyed getting to see these two main characters continue to grow and learn and fight the world and make it a better place. That was cool. This series is kind of weird because there will be 6 books in total, but it's 3 duologies. So this second book wrapped up the story, or the main story, of these 2 characters, and we'll move on to follow other characters. I think we'll still see these people. I'm still interested in reading the rest of the series. There are some characters that I think might become main characters that I would really love to follow, and it's generally pretty interesting. So, and it's on KU, so I have access to it. My hair's doing weird stuff. I still have to read for 2 more hours today because I've only gotten like an hour of reading in, but I get to start books. Hooray! I might read a Junie B. Jones book and then start my last TBR crime book. It's up to me. I'm not beholden to any books that I've started because I've finished all the books that I've started. I finally get to start a book in April. I'm excited about it because I lied yesterday. I don't know what day it is. Yesterday was the 19th, not the 17th. So it's the 20th today. We're in the back third of the month and I haven't started a book yet. So that's terrifying. But that will be my fun Easter times. Reading, yay! Starting a new book. So excited about that. Hey there. It's evening on Sunday, and I have hit my 3 hours for the day, which means I successfully hit 3 hours every day this week of reading. 3 hours of reading every day this week. Hooray! What a successful reading week to finish all of those March books, to hit my 3 hours a day every day, to have a good time. Those are all wins in my book. Did I learn anything this week? No. I'm sure I did, but nothing comes to mind in particular. This was just, it was a big week in a lot of ways. It was so much. This week was just a lot. And now this week is over. And we can start a new week, start new books, and just have a grand old time. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this vlog here. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what are some of your hopes for the upcoming week, and subscribe for more bookish and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!